Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Sunday, September 29th. So, how we doing this morning, huh? What I thought we'd talk about is how to get more things done than you thought you could get done. Now, there's a thought, huh? Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekend. This is Sunday, September 29th of 2024, and this here is under personal development. It's available by podcast. We do the weekday Monday through Friday, and that's available through podcast as well. If you guys just want to binge watch or listen or what have you. But I try to do anyways. I like to say a well-rounded individual where it takes doing things right in business, and whether it's a repair shop or you're an HR or you're an employee, how to be a better employee, how to be a better boss, how to be a better owner. But on the weekends, I also look at personal development, because if we're really great at one thing, but we suck at everything else, then you're not. You got to have life balance or balance of life. You can call it that. Yes, I just made that up. It's when everything you're trying to juggle everything, right? And you just say screw it, and you just concentrate on, because this is something that you really want, so you concentrate really hard on it, and you go after it, and you become really good at it. But in the same token, you've sacrificed all the other good things that could have been done along with it. It may have taken you a little longer to get where you wanted to go on something that you enjoyed, like starting a business, but you're not spending time with the kids. They're growing up, they grow up fast. You're not spending time with your better half. Or maybe you're still single and you haven't spent any time, looking for somebody to have a long term relationship with. And maybe that's not your bag, you know. I see so many people now that, with one foot out the door all the time. People don't get married anymore. Why don't they get married anymore? Because it's a commitment, and people don't want commitments. They don't want something that's tying them down. And that's where we've kind of changed, because you guys that are avoiding commitment, your better half is seeing that. And usually this is the guys, all right? They're like, well, I've seen so many divorces, my friends or my parents or this or that, and it ended badly, so why even bother? And I've talked with guys that are like, I don't want to have half of my stuff taken and this and that. And I'm like, if you're doing it together and you're building your wealth, why doesn't the other person get half? And then I hear people complain about child support. And I'm thinking, how much were you paying to support that kid when it was in your own home? It's better to be home, a dad, a husband, you know, a partner, a best friend. But how do we become good at a lot of things? Or how do we become better at something that we want to do? Practice. Well, what if I'm doing it and it's coming out wrong every time? Well, then what ends up happening is you have time, which gives you experience, and then it gives you wisdom. Now, over time, if the experience is bad or it's not coming out the way you want to, We need to find out, what are you doing wrong? What it's your approach. It's something. And as Amos has said, and I think Jason too, that if you keep continually doing the same thing with the same results, that's insanity. That's insanity, folks. You need to take your bad experiences and turn them around into a positive by this is what not to do. Break it apart. Take out the bad stuff and keep the good stuff in there that was helping you to get to where you want to be. And the biggest thing I see too with people is procrastination. It's not that they're lazy. It's not that you're lazy or that I'm lazy, because I am well known to be a procrastinator. But I've learned to break free of that, because it's easy just to put things off for tomorrow instead of doing them today, right? But if you at least try to start it and see where it goes, and most people procrastinate on things because two things. One, they become overwhelmed by looking at everything they need to get done. Or two, it's something that they really don't care to do. But either way, it needs to be done, right? And the way to break free of being too much of a procrastinator is to write down the things that you need to get done, break it down into smaller bite sizes, and then tackle each one. If you're, an owner of a business and you've got a list of things that you need to accomplish at that business, is there a way that you can break it down and delegate some of that, or hire on a secretary or a general manager and have them take on that role of somebody's got to get it done? But in life, we become procrastinators. And if you figure up all the time that you waste in a week, 2 weeks, a month on doing crap that just is taking up time that you'll never get back, that could have been enjoyable, it's the big thing. If you want to get better at things, you need to change how you do things. I've talked about, quite a while back about that becoming a pole vaulter. Now, or running a 5-mile run, 5K run, I guess is what they call them. Just to decide, okay, I'm going to run 5K or just start pole vaulting today. And if my expectations is that I will do well at it, then I am crazy. That's the definition of crazy. But anybody can take and start looking at steps to what do I need to do to get ready to run the 5K race or become a pole vaulter and clear, let's say 5 foot for me. I mean 3 foot. Should be better if I could walk over it. But it's going to take practice. How is it somebody with 2 legs says that they can't do a 5K run when you find someone with no legs that are using whatever means they have, whether it be a wheelchair or amputee legs, and doing the 5K race? What's the difference? What defines each group? It's because one really wants to accomplish that goal, and the other one is finding every reason in the book of why it's not a good idea. Even though the accomplishment at the end might be just what you're looking for, because you're doing something with usually a bunch of friends. And if you have no friends, it's a good way to meet friends, is to join in the camaraderie of doing, let's say, a 5K breast cancer awareness event for a good cause. People are there because they want to support other people that are going through cancer treatments, specifically women with breast cancer. But there's other ones. My son is very involved in what they call Jerry's Run. And pretty much it's all motorcycles. That's how it started. It was a few guys got together and started doing this run. They would stop at a number of these different locations and pick up, what do they call it? Doesn't matter. But it grew and grew and grew, and now it's a big event, a big enough event so that they end up buying a piece of property for the starting point and the ending point. They've got the games set up for the kids. They've got, food trucks in there. They've got, their beer and soda and all. But it's a big event. And it's all to help support anyone going through cancer. And they help support meals, travel, accommodations. But there are hundreds of people involved in this. And it's just really neat to watch, that because it's all choreographed. And even if local town cops and stuff know they're coming their way, they will block off traffic until the whole group gets through. And you're talking, sometimes a 300, 400, 500 bikes, motorcycles. And it's not limited to, well, what if I can't ride a motorcycle? They have, they charter buses that follow the bikes. They also have trucks. They have an ambulance follow them. They have a truck with trailers, so if somebody's bike quits, they can get it onto a trailer and get it back to, the starting point. It's well orchestrated, but it's for a good cause, and people come out. Why is that? Because they want to help somebody else. They want the camaraderie of there are good people in this world. And yes, I have yet to ride it. I've got my own bike, but the idea of being on a motorcycle on and off for 6 hours is not my can of worms, you could say. So when we sit down and we try to define how do we get better at anything, it's how we look at something. And it comes down to, what are your likes and dislikes? And I feel anybody can become better at X, whatever it is that they want to do. But they have to have some kind of thing so they're not procrastinating. It has to be something that you like. So if it's a negative connotation to the thing that you're looking at, the tendency to procrastinate is going to become greater, right? Like you need to take out the garbage, but it's still sitting there, and you see it the next day, and you procrastinate another day because you really don't want to take the garbage out. Meanwhile, you're hoping somebody else takes the garbage out. It would have taken you 2 to 3 minutes to get off your ass, grab the garbage, take it out, put it in the garbage can, put a new liner in, voila. And then you haven't got to sit there and think about it anymore because you got it accomplished. So that's one way that you can overcome procrastination, is put it into motion. Is usually the biggest step. So let's make a rule to help procrastinators, and that is, let's call it the 3 minute, 5 minute rule, whatever works for you. But taking out the trash, if you make it a 3 minute rule or a 5 minute rule, that means start it and go that far and see, is it done, or do I want to continue keeping and trying to get it done? Taking out the garbage takes you just a couple of minutes. So if you follow that rule, you got it knocked out. And the sense of accomplishment comes with, I got it done. So you do it, your next thing. Have a list of things that you need to get done or you want to get done, and just start checking them off. And you have to make them achievable, and you have to have a goal in mind, accomplishment, so that you get a little pat on your back, right? I got it done. And pretty quick, you don't even think about it anymore. You just do it. That's what makes people either really good at what they do or terribly horrible. It doesn't mean that either person doesn't have what it takes to get it done. It's just how they look at things and how they procrastinate versus staying in motion, getting it done, and getting a sense of accomplishment. And with that, you're still gaining it. With your time experience, you get a lot of wisdom out of it, right? And things become very much easier to attain because you've figured out the formula that is such a hidden formula of how to accomplish things on a daily basis and feel good about it. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. Write down things that you would like to get done and things that you would like to accomplish. It could be simply, I want to have an hour blocked out so I can have quality time where it's quiet and I can read a book. Do it. But you also have to have on that list taking out the garbage. Somewhere you need to get these other things done in order to have that hour free to read a book. Or you want to do a 5K run. You're going to start by walking so many miles, so many feet, yards, miles, until you get built up to where you can do it. I've seen people accomplish this in wheelchairs with the double amputee that has I'm not sure what the right word is, but it's the amputee replacement for legs and stuff. Accomplish it. What defines how they're able to do it and you're not? Well, it's your commitment on doing things. And it does. It comes back to a commitment. And in this day and age, everybody is avoiding commitment. Everybody thinks that's an evil, terrible word. It is not, folks. Being committed and commitment in a relationship, a friendship, doing things you want is not a bad thing. It's not. If you really love somebody, why can't you take that next step? If all you're worried about is your stupid stuff, then why even get involved? Because you're not going to follow through because you're scared of commitment. Commitment is not a bad thing. And that you need to get rid of the negative connotation on it and decide, I am committed to doing X, Y, and Z. And if you're committed to a relationship, that's your partner, right? And you'll do anything for her or him to a certain extent, not taking out the garbage for him. And if you're committed to having a family and you start having kids, but you're not married, you're not committed to the relationship, so you're not really committed to raising kids either, are you? because you haven't. And I've seen this happen so many times. It's so easy for someone to step out of a relationship when things get a little bit hard. And I'm telling you right now, people that have good relationships have fights, have, times that put a strain on the relationship, but they work through it. Being involved in a relationship is not a bed of roses. It can be, most of it be roses, but it's how much you're committed to being in that relationship and wanting to make it better and wanting your partner to grow. It's supporting your partner and doing anything that he or she wants to do within reason, where it's not something they might kill themselves doing it, right? And it's someone that you can talk to and not worry about the whole world finding out that you have insecurities about certain things. Because what I found with a good relationship, a committed relationship, when one's up, the other one's down a little bit, so they kind of balance each other out, right? It's not one always doing it for the other. It should be an equal. Because as we go through the month, I don't know if you ever noticed, but you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. And the bad days are where it's hard to get things done because you're just fighting to get through the day. And the good day, everything goes easy, right? We all have it. And what I do is I capitalize on the good days. So I know that when I go through the harder days in that month, I'm still coming out ahead. So on that note, just try that, guys. This will end your procrastination. This will push you so you're more committed to doing things and following through and having a happier life. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday, and we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning for the weekday show, Monday through Friday. Thanks so much for watching, guys.